Hey there, Internet. It's me, Broken Terrain. And man, oh man, my creative juices were not flowing this week. I could not figure out what in the world to make a video on. And then I grabbed some foam scraps and just started going to work. I'll show you what I made after the drop. Boy, it is difficult sometimes coming up with a new idea, a fresh idea every week. Particularly if you're a big fan of other YouTubers who are also doing some really cool stuff. It's like, oh man, that was really cool, but now I can't do that because it'll just be a copycat of your cool craft. So, and you know what? Honestly, I'm sure someone's already made a portal similar to this somewhere. So I'm sure even in my creative slump that I ended up copying someone else. But that's okay. I start with just some scraps. You know, I really like this 2-inch foam. I picked some up the other day, and this was a large chunk of scrap from my little coin purse dragon project. And waste not, want not, I always say. So I grabbed my scraps up and just start taking a look at them and seeing how I can cut, trim, and place these scraps together to make something interesting. And I got a little inspiration from my game the other day. You know, we try to play Sundays when we can on Roll20, and the players ended up coming across some portals where they were going through some trials of the mind, and I thought, man, maybe I'll just do a magic portal of sorts. I still have a big old bag of LEDs and batteries, and maybe I'll do a fun magic portal. So after I get a rough portal shape cut out, I'm gonna do a little stairway going up to it. And at first I cut the stairs wide enough for it to be playable for a mini with a 1-inch base to sit up on it. But quickly it became apparent to me I didn't want this to necessarily be playable. I wanted this to just be a fun, really neat piece. I thought, man, I'm gonna put some flock down on it, some grass. I just happened to hit Michael's up, and they had more of those little flowers that I love. I thought this is just going to be a real fun visual piece, a nice little piece of scatter with a fun LED inside. And so I was starting to get pretty happy with this piece here, and decided, well, if I'm going to flock it, I need a base. So I grabbed one of those 6x6 wood tiles that I've got some extra of, and I thought I would place this on the middle of it here. Here I'm carving out it's always a pain to get enough space to get your fingers up in there for the LED and the battery. You need to make certain concessions with the size so that the battery can get popped up in there and then successfully removed. And you'll see at the end of this video I have a unique way for removing the battery on this, because despite my attempts I still couldn't carve up a way to get my fingers enough space to pull that battery out. This is roughly where I'm going to have the LED and the battery, and you can see the packaging from those little bits of flour. I'm going to cut off the front panel here, measure it up to size, cut it to size of my portal, and then I'm going to score the edges all the way around my portal so that I can actually slip this piece of clear plastic all the way up there. I'm going to trim that to size, and then I'll take a file to it and rough it up so that it's not so see-through, but a bit more so that it reflects the light from the LED a little better. I'll also go over it with the hot glue gun and design kind of a swirly portal effect. In previous builds, I've discovered that lining your lit areas with tinfoil is incredibly helpful. The tinfoil is going to reflect all of that light. It actually blocks the light from coming out of seams as well. So instead of that light escaping through all the edges of the back piece glued up in there, the tinfoil is going to block it, and you won't see any light come through those areas. Here I am filing down that piece of plastic, just roughing it up on both sides. I'll go lengthwise, then widthwise, and then flip it over to the other side. You can see I've carved my 6x6 wooden tile into a nice curved base. And of course, the problem now that I want to base it is that I still need that finger area there to place and then remove the battery as needed. But luckily these 6x6 wooden tiles cut rather easily. If they didn't, if you were using a thicker material, you might need to use a Dremel or something a little more substantial than a craft knife. Once I know that I have the hole large enough and in the right spot, I hot glue my stairs and portal down to the base. I'm gonna tear up some random pieces and just put some boulders here and there to decorate the base. A little white PVA, and once I get enough down, I'm gonna go over it with the brush, just spread it out a nice even coat all the way to the edge. And once I've got everything coated in that white PVA, I'm gonna dunk it in my craft sand mixture to flock it. Tap the extra off. I do this right over the bin. Here you see the LED. I've got a blinking LED in it, and it's fun to take a picture of the gate and see what color you get as it goes back and forth from color to color. I think I regret putting the blinking light in. I wish I had picked one color. The blinking light is a little harsh at times. I like maybe the slower blink, but you know, I just make another one, I guess. I carve in some runes around the portal and hit the the stone bit, the stairs and the portal itself with some rolled up tin foil for texture. Aluminum foil for texture. And then I take some of that hemp twine and I decide I want to have some vines kind of wrapped around the stairs and up around the portal. And I pick some areas where that feels best for me visually, and I really need to hide these seams on the back of that on the back of that portal. They're rough, so I utilize the vines to hide seams, blend it in, make it look like it's like deep in the woods, very hard to find. And once I get everything in there, I cover it with the Black Magic Crafts base coat of black matte paint and matte Mod Podge mixed together at about a 50-50. My Mississippi mud goes down on any ground texture. My new favorite gray Storm, comes out, and it's almost all stone here. So the stairs, the little rocky out bits, the portal, all get that Gray Storm. And it's very easy to paint except for the edges up around the portal. So I carefully, oh so carefully, hit those edges. And I am just pumped, man. What a new shamrock for the vines. Man, this thing's looking good. You know, I really had no idea what to make, what to do. I really did sit down at the table with scraps, and I'm so glad I did. I'm really pleased with this piece. It looks really good, and it was just a fun little exercise just to kind of snap myself out of it, get the brain churning. You know, sometimes you just got to sit down at the table and see what happens, you know. my homemade black wash. I keep putting water into the frickin' jar, and it keeps coming out awesome. It was too dark in the last project, and now, after adding some water, it's coming back to life. What is with this black wash? Will it ever end? Will I ever need to make another batch? It's insane. Stay tuned. Subscribe. Hit the like button. Will my black wash ever run out? I don't know. I really don't know. Some white PVA. hit it with that paintbrush for an even coat. This is my ground up flocking. Just cover all the ground in some deeper cracks and crevices and of the vines and things. Once that's dry, I go back in with some more white PVA, spread it around with the paintbrush. Then I use my static grass that I don't use the static applicator for. Just having fun at the table, brushing that grass up. I find when I tip the whole thing upside down and tap on the base, that really helps, like, tip the grass up. Does that make sense? Who needs a static grass applicator? Then I go over it with granite gray, just dry brush. Just hit the stone, some edges. This is probably the most reserved I've ever been with my dry brushing, and I'm picking on myself today, and I really like the way it turned out. These are those little craft flowers. They're made for UV resins, but oh man, I love the look and scale of them for miniatures. Ever since the mill, I have been utilizing these gorgeous little flowers. I highly recommend them to you. But little pops of color, amazing visual interest. Yes, thumbs up to these flowers. They're still fairly affordable for what you get. You know, you'll want to use them for your favorite projects, but fantastic. I've got some red ones, some white ones. I picked up some pink baby's breath, I think it's called. I put a few on, but I don't like it as much as these the white and reds here. They don't sell as well to me. It's more like a clump of but it is pretty and pink. And here we have it, the finished piece. I've got it with the portal on, with the portal off. You can see the colors are different. Got Tinley and the Captain standing before it. There you go. There's that incredibly quick blink. See, I like the slower one. There we go. And even slower is better. But I really do like the way it turned out. Not bad for having no idea what I was going to do when I sat down at the table. So now that the juices are flowing once more, I can't wait for next week's video. How about you? Can you wait? You're going to have to. Hey, but while you're waiting, check out some of my older videos. Make sure you like this one. Subscribe to the channel because I got all kinds of fun stuff on here, and I'd appreciate it. Share with family and friends. I've got a subscribe star. If you want to subscribe and help the channel out financially, that'd be amazing. I've got a super thanks down there, right there in the YouTube. If you think, hey, maybe I should buy this dude a coffee, I really like that video, go ahead, hit that super thanks for me. That would be a great way to help the channel. I've got a merch shop, a link in the description. I'm hustling. Thank you so much, everybody. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. I love making stuff and I love sharing it with you. So as always, like each other, love each other, and craft on. And now that amazing battery removal technique. Are you ready? Ta-da! Excellent. Thanks, everybody.